I did a previous video on vending machines, and so I thought it might be interesting to look at Carvana stock over the last 5 years. So Carvana is a company that advertised that it sells cars and vending machines. Now, how could that possibly go wrong? And how could that possibly not be a fraud? We all know that vending machines hike up the price of the contents of those vending machines. And so what happened to Carvana and why? So if you look at Carvana's stock here, you'll see that this is at the end of 2019. We're looking at $79 a share. And then right in here is when we were all quarantined. So it's about $80 a share. And then during the pandemic and quarantine period, we have this ginormous rise to Carvana's peak at $337.56 a share. And then in the beginning of 2022, we're down to half of that. And now we're down to about $30 a share, which is probably where Carvana belongs. What happened to the stock? Well, if you can't go anywhere, then you have no choice but to do things online or contactless. And so a vending machine car company was able to sell cars. Before that, there was, I guess, some demand in 2020, 2019 for this, probably just because it was a new idea and not because it was a super valuable one. And now that you can go back and get cars anywhere, oh wow, $20 a share, September 22, I should have bought, but now that you can go anywhere you want and get a car anywhere you want, there's way little need for car vending machines. Also, it's possible that somewhere in here there was a valuation issue in terms of the prices they were charging for the cars. Now, this chart doesn't tell you that, but it does tell you that there was a rise and a fall, and the fall was bad. Oh, wow, $7 a share, $4.74 on December 1st, 2022. This company almost died, okay? Down from $337.56 in the height of the quarantine period. So I don't know exactly what was going on here, unless it was because it was hip and new. And so the scale here is quite dramatically skewed because of the great range in values. But it's negative earnings per share. They're hoping that it will go up a little bit in a year. This year alone, it's ranged between $3.55 and $57 a share. That's pretty damn volatile. Yeah, and right here, it's still overvalued at $34 a share. It's rated as extremely overvalued, which is interesting because if you look at this, how the hell was it worth this during that time period? And I should have I should have thought of this back then and looked at it. But if you look at this information, it just goes to show that there's a lot of fads out there, and that anything that's built on a vending machine paradigm is not likely to succeed. We'll put it that way. The whole reason why vending machines in buildings succeed is because of availability. There may be a new paradigm in the vending machine saga based on my previous video. I was at the grocery store last night, and they're a little bit bigger than the bags in the vending machines of chips for $2. Now, the vending machine also charges $2 for a bag of chips, and I believe they're like 1.75 ounces, and the ones in the grocery store are slightly bigger than that. But I think the time will come where vending machines will have to get even more expensive because we're looking at $4 a bag for chips, and so at the grocery store, so they'll have no choice but to raise prices. And I'll bet that that's part of what is happening here in this super low valuation, is that there was no demand for new cars, and Carvana is a new car, as far as I know, only sells new cars. So if you're only selling new cars, it's a particularly unique but niche market that you're going after. You're not going to do terribly well. Anyway, I thought this was interesting to point out that the rise and fall of Carvana company and their vending machine cars, at least, well, I'd hope that in a Carvana machine, if you put your money in, the machine doesn't eat it. Right now there's a vending machine on campus where there's a whole bunch of change shoved in the slot. And it'll be probably sometime a week or two from now when they finally get it cleared. and people can start buying from that one again. It's such a weird thing. I've never been that desperate to where I needed to buy something out of a vending machine. Anyway, food for thought. Do with it what you like, but I thought you might find this interesting.